going to be reacting to No Rest for the Wicked by Moon Studio. Kind of like an action RPG slash Souls-like game, and we're going to be reacting to it right now, coming out April 18. And it looks exciting. Let's take a look. Violence? Say less. Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Thomas.
And I'm Gennady.
We founded Moon Studios during the rise of independent games in 2010.
Back then, there weren't all that many modern Metroidvania games out there, and so we created Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ori became a huge success with gamers and critics alike, and it helped spark new interest in the genre.
Our next project was supposed to be something totally different, because for
it's
over
kind of like a
20 years we've
Diablo
been playing action RPGs
style
religiously,
to it,
and we
which is
always
interesting.
dreamt of where this genre could be taken next. At the same time, we felt that we could do even more within the Metroidvania genre, and so we embarked on making Ori and the Will of the Wisps. We
Yeah, they're
ultimately
both pretty
shipped
popular
another
games,
game
the
that
Ori
was
games. I never played them
incredibly
myself,
well-received,
though.
and that we're deeply, deeply proud of.
But we had never forgotten about our dream of creating our own action RPG. We have left our mark on one genre before. Now we hope to do the same for action RPGs.
Our story begins 841 years after the Embrace.
You never heard of it?
King Harold is dead,
No worries.
and he's to be succeeded by his young and untested
Okay, let's take a
son
look here,
Magnus.
story-wise.
Meanwhile, rumors of the return of a great plague, known as the Pestilence, are starting to emerge. Madrigal Celine, a ruthless figure in the church, sees the Pestilence as a chance to prove herself. These forces converge on the backwater of Isola South,
The art style is pretty
where
cool,
rebel
though.
groups and the provincial government fight for control amid the Isle's crumbling ruins. As a Sarim, a member of an ancient sect devoted to defeating the Pestilence, you are sent on a merchant ship to investigate. En route, your ship comes under attack from a rebel group known
Is it like a
as the
pirate
Risen.
game?
The
I
battle
hope
leaves
not,
the
considering
vessel
like
battered
Bones and
and
Skulls were
badly
like a
damaged.
disaster.
The ship stands little chance as it limps towards the shore, and it is torn apart on the rocks at sea. You find yourself washed up at the shores of Isola Sacra, bruised and unarmed, and end up caught in the midst of both a vast political struggle and a fight for survival.
Yeah, you should be able to see the YouTube comments when they come in on the screen. Maybe
With No
not
Rest
here
for
on the
the Wicked,
reaction video
we
actually, but
decided
on the
to
gameplay.
handcraft an entirely seamless world. Nothing in this game is procedurally generated. Instead of moving across a randomly generated flat plane, throughout this showcase you will notice that our world is dense, interactive, uses a ton of verticality, and that every inch was crafted by a designer.
Okay. It's kind of interesting.
You'll be well served always paying attention to your surroundings too. There are secret areas just about everywhere that usually reward you with precious items.
Wait, you can break it?
Loot in
No
No Rest for the
way.
Wicked is
That's pretty cool,
randomized.
actually.
It ensures that every
I
player
love that
has
kind
their
of
own
secrets.
unique experience, and that every time you explore an area, you might just finally get that last gold ore or new battle axe you've been waiting for.
So we got a proper
We
loot
abandoned
system
the
here.
old point-and-click model to move your character around. We wanted players to have ultimate control over their character. Every movement you make should feel tactile and be intentional. For that reason, we designed Wicked to be played using WASD or a controller.
I knew it. Should have never brought you on board. You'll never make it to Sacrament from here.
Instead of going for realism, our goal is always to create games that look like a painting come to life.
That's quite interesting.
Our artists spent years meticulously modeling and hand painting all
looks beautiful,
of
though.
Visceral Sacra. You will traverse through plenty of breathtakingly beautiful environments, lit with natural day and night cycles,
Wait,
immersed
they got
in
day and
dynamic
night cycles? Jeez. It's like Elden Ring.
We also engineered a very special way of rendering our top-down world, where you can always see so much further into the distance.
That's actually kind of huge, though. Gives you a lot of kind of visibility in
Our
front and
goal
can kind
was
of
to make
plan.
everything as interactive
Especially
as
since
possible.
a lot of the
If
enemies
an
are
object
quite
looks like you can
difficult.
climb it, then you can actually climb it.
Oh, you can climb things. Okay.
And if an object is too thin to walk over it,
Jeez.
you might just need to balance your way across.
Okay, there you go. I love how they place like chests on top of these things, so you actually have some value of exploring. That's kind of nice. Okay, combat time. Let's go.
Right from the start, we decided to create an animation-driven combat system, which to us meant that every attack you make should be carefully considered. We wanted to bring weighty, precision-driven combat to the top-down space. Combat that's inspired by several different genres, from ARPGs to fighting games. In order to overcome an opponent, you need to watch out for telegraphed behaviors and then punish accordingly.
That's where you get a little bit of that part Souls-like experience,
Timing,
right? Kind of
spacing,
telegraphic
and
moves.
weapon weight
Learn
are
what they're doing.
incredibly important in Wicked's combat model. In A Rest for the Wicked, every single weapon has its own unique moveset and stats driven by RNG.
Okay. Oh, we got like a stamina bar too. Okay.
Using this dagger, I'll have a hard time breaking this enemy's shield. Let's try something different. If you time it just right, you can parry incoming attacks, allowing you to exploit
can
an
parry
enemy's
it?
opening.
No way. It is Souls-like them. Got like a parry and a big stagger. Let's go.
Gear in A Rest for the Wicked comes in 4 different rarities. White items are common. Unlike in other ARPGs, they're not trash loot. We instead made those the most customizable. Blue items are rare. They offer only
Yeah, it looks
positive
great.
enchantments. Purple items
This is a
are
little bit where
cursed.
you get kind of
They
like the
offer very
whole
positive
Diablo style to it, with like
but
the
they also
different
come
tier
with
of
a
weapon
cursed
loot, you know?
Gold items are unique. They are specifically handcrafted by our designers and offer unique enchantments.
Okay.
This rare claymore we found has an enchantment that increases my focus gain whenever I deal damage.
You enjoy tiers of weapons? Yeah, I mean, like, it's nice to have, like, especially in terms of finding loot, right? If you find, like, a higher tier, it's always, you know, a good feeling.
Every weapon has a chance to drop with its own unique rune, which can then be extracted and used on other weapons.
Okay, so
That
you can
way,
actually
players can
extract
come up with
runes
their
for, like,
own
different
unique
attacks.
movesets.
Huh, interesting. So you got a
We
bit of
can
crafting
focus
here.
through combat. It is then used to perform rune attacks. Let's drive on.
Yeah, that's a valid point, but I guess it's more like depending on, how can I say, you know, kind
But
of
every now and then,
visibility,
you might
right?
not even
And
need to use your weapons to get rid of it.
stuff like that. Oh, you can use the environment? That's
Sometimes,
great.
all you need is
That's
a little
huge.
push.
Every weapon you'll find in No Rest for the Wicked has its own bespoke moveset, custom made by our incredible animation department.
They really took like an Elden Ring approach, though. Every weapon
Squash and
has like a
stretch
special
and other
moveset.
animation principles directly inform our combat design. Layered on top of that,
Yeah, we got a boss fight.
enchantments that drastically impact weapon behavior, and our deep rune system. All of this culminates in a weapon system that we feel is extremely fun and engaging and allows every player to create their own style of combat. When it comes to gear like armor, there is a wide range of options, each with their own design and attributes. The weight of such items even affects your movement in combat.
Every weapon type has a different moveset.
For instance, if you opt in for a lighter, faster build, you can quick step
What would be
out
every
of
weapon?
enemy's way. Quick steps are fast and don't consume a lot of stamina. With medium weight build, your character will dodge roll. Those are slower and consume more stamina.
I think going like a low weight character build would be nice
For no
here.
rest for the wicked, we designed a soft class system. Instead of locking you into a character class that you then have to adhere to for the entire playthrough,
I do
we
not.
want you to have the flexibility and freedom to play as the type of character you want
I think I never
to,
tried it
and
either.
even come up with character classes we haven't even thought of.
So far, we've shown what combat looks like with a more melee-focused build.
Probably
Let's take a look
true.
at how combat changes for a mage. This character build uses a
Oh wait, you can be like a
two-handed
mage as
staff.
well?
We have 3 rune specials available: Blink, Fireball, and
There we
Nova.
go. Get the fireball attack in. That's
Fighting
huge.
multiple enemies is always tricky. When used right, Nova can be an absolute blast.
Oh, that's a big attack.
The uniqueness of each item you find or craft, being able to create any character build you can think of through our soft class system, and the randomized loot, all of these systems combine to ensure each playthrough and every player's experience is never truly the same.
Okay. Bosses, let's go. Alright, let's take a look at that. I think it's a bit early for that though, but who knows. You know, that boss looks so creepy, and I've seen it like such a few times already in trailers. But I love it
Sola
though.
Sacra is riddled with
Such a
plagued enemies
Souls-like
known
boss.
as the Thorn. As you can see, this Thorn has been left to mutate and fester and will prove particularly vicious. Our
Jeez.
best course of action is to study his moves and attack whenever we see an opening.
When you don't feed your dog. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that's a human that got infested, but you know, let's just
Bosses
pray
are
it's a dog.
quite brutal in No Rest for the Wicked.
He is a dog.
They will punish every mistake you will make. But keep a cool head, make use of all of the skills you've learned, and you just might
He
succeed.
probably is. Ooh, okay, we got like some big jump attacks.
As you can see, No Rest for the Wicked is an intensely skill-based
Oh, you
game.
can put him on fire and you
Your
can
gear
imbue your
greatly
weapon too.
influences your power
Nice.
in battle. But whether you die or overcome the challenge is ultimately down to your skill.
Oh, that's huge. Nice attack. Wait, he still is. He kind of looks like he's dead though. Interesting. There you go. Get him out of there. Sacrament. I think that's like the village they talked about earlier.
Along your journey, you will come across the town of Sacrament, the capital of Isola Sacra. Sacrament is a war-torn place, but over the course of your journey, you
good
can
question.
help rebuild Sacrament to its former glory.
Oh, ignore their gates, Saren. They likely never seen one of your kind.
In order to demonstrate that,
It's about
let's
10 more
switch to a realm
minutes, I
that's
think.
already a little more advanced.
It's sort of like a inside showcase.
Our goal is to make Sacrament as interesting and interactive as possible.
Read about it, Mary, where their tailors at your service. Mary, we agreed. My name goes first.
Don't pretend you don't smell it. Come have a taste.
And players
They're
will
like a
be in
full-on
control of how
village that you're gonna
Sacrament will
interact
evolve
with.
over time.
Eat, you know,
For example, after my
craft
previous
weapons,
expedition,
perhaps.
I helped
Upgrade.
Fillmore rebuild his smithy. He now sells better gear and is
Yeah,
also
there you go.
able to
Got some
upgrade
upgrades.
our gear to a higher level. To that effect, We aim to make investing resources into Sacrament as satisfying and rewarding as investing resources into your character is.
Oh wait, you can build too?
Let's take a look at another way you can make Sacrament your own.
That's a bit... I mean, like, I didn't
In
expect them to
Sacrament,
do,
you'll be
like,
able to
building in
purchase
this
real
game.
estate. Well, if you have the funds to afford it.
The city's gone to shit.
Property
The
in
city's
Sacrament
gone to shit.
can get a little bit expensive, but accumulate the riches, and you can choose from a wide
Cranking
range of
90s.
properties to suit
Oh, for
anyone's
real.
taste. Your house is the perfect place to stash your loot, craft items, relax, and plan everything out for your next big run through the dangerous areas surrounding Sacrament. I just moved in here, so it's a little bit barren. Let's fix that.
You know, the fact that you can actually have your own
Out on
house
your
and stuff
journey,
is
you'll
actually
be
kind
able
of
to
crazy.
collect or harvest valuable
Wait, you can
resources,
harvest
which then
things
can
too?
be used to craft
Like, what
gear,
kind of game is this? Is
furniture
this
for
like a
your home,
survival
or
game too?
even make
They mix
improvements
like
to the town
ARPG,
itself.
like Diablo, they done like Souls-like, and now they're doing kind of survival
Catch a
game.
fish, for example, and it
You
can
can
be cooked
fish?
and eaten, of course.
God
But
damn it, it's
certain
like
fish
Fortnite.
scales might even make for some fine art.
Fortnite ripoff.
While I was on the shores of
Oh, I feel
Sacrament,
like this is the
collected
only
some
game that
pine wood.
doesn't look
So
like
now,
Fortnite,
let's
to be
make
fair.
use of that and make this place a little bit more cozy.
But I'm sure they got some inspiration though.
Housing is incredibly cool.
I
in the
would
rest
call
of
it
the
like
region.
more
Since you
inspired
marked
by
this terrain to a
survival
grid,
games than
you can
Fortnite.
come up with some really organic looking designs.
But I'll give them Fortnite similarity for the fishing.
The table looks nice, but it's missing something.
Yeah, get that plan going.
It's much better. While some items you can place
Yeah, I
in your
know.
house
I
are
know.
just cosmetic, our goal is for most of them to be functional and have a gameplay purpose.
You know, that's actually kind of
With a
nice though.
range
It
of
actually has
properties
some
to
value
purchase
with the stuff
and
that
an
you
incredibly
put in your
flexible
house.
interior design system. We hope players will be able to find and design.
I'm gonna make a
unique
video on this
ways
where I'm saying
for
like,
them to call
here's
home.
how you build the best possible house. It's like 10% of the game is building, and I'll be like, this is the nicest house you can build. Endgame? Okay. That's where Diablo aspect comes in, probably.
One last thing we'd like to show you
Or
today
that
is a
type of
system
game.
we call Alive. Although No
Alive.
Rest for the Wicked features a traditional campaign, it was important to us that the Solar Sacra is very much a living, breathing world.
Okay.
In order to show you what that means, we're going to go to an area called Mariner's Keep. This is an area I've previously ventured through and explored.
However, since my last journey through here, NIF have overrun the local area,
Okay.
presenting entirely new threats for me to tackle and resources for me to scavenge.
So essentially more difficult bosses when you come back.
The
Or
world
like
of
not
No Rest for
bosses,
the
but
Wicked
enemies.
is constantly
That makes
changing
sense.
around you. And each time you visit a region, you'll be faced with a drastically different experience.
I think it would be cool though if they also add like some visual aspects that makes it look different and not just kind of new enemies, but I haven't compared it yet though. But I think that would be like a nice touch. At least we got like some mini bosses though. Nice attack.
And no rest for the wicked.
Oh, what in the world is that? Jeez.
You never really know what to expect.
Damn, that is crazy.
For those of you who asked about Endgame, yes, we've got you covered. While we don't want to give away too much at this point, once you reach the Endgame, you can enter the Serum Crucible. This is where you'll have to test your metal against some of the toughest enemies within No Rest for the Wicked.
Okay. So almost like
Our goal
NG+.
is and always has been to create a very different action RPG, one that will hopefully move the genre forward. We believe that Moon Studios is in an incredibly unique position to deliver on this vision. We have some of the best talent in the world united behind this, and we're not afraid to take the risks that need to be taken in order to change up the status quo.
We've poured an incredible amount of blood, sweat, and tears into this project. And now we're at a point where we need your help to shape and build Wicked into the best game it can possibly be.
Therefore, we'd like to invite all of you who love this genre, who grew up with it the same way we did, and who are excited to see a new take on it, to join us on this journey. And so we're happy to announce that we're going to be launching No Rest for the Wicked after all of these years into Steam Early Access next month on
April 18th. Let's
Over the course
go.
of early access,
Oh,
we'll
that's gonna be
tweaking,
huge.
patching, and balancing the game.
It's
with
on
your
the
input.
wish list.
And you will also
Done.
see major content updates
Done.
throughout development
Oh,
until we hit
wait.
our 1.0 release. At which
Okay.
point, we're planning to release on consoles as well.
Wicked has been built from the ground up with
Yeah, they're pretty
multiplayer in
nice
mind.
emojis.
So
For
the
sure.
first of these major updates that we will be releasing in early access will be providing you with an innovative multiplayer experience,
Multiplayer?
allowing you to
Okay.
play Wicked alongside or even against your friends.
Our second major
That's
content
actually kinda
update will
nice
bring all
to
new
add this
regions
early.
to Sakura, new enemies, narrative updates, and
New
so much
enemies.
more.
Oh, I like how they
Story,
said new stories
system,
too.
and gameplay content
That's huge.
updates to follow thereafter.
Your support and feedback during this very critical part of early access really does make a difference. No Rest for the Wicked begins a new era for Moon Studios, and we're committed to this project for the long run.
We're incredibly excited about what will be in No Rest for the Wicked already in day one of early access, and we can't wait to show you all the stuff that will follow in the months to come.
Year 9,
Once the
Season
showcase
1.
is over, be
Jeez,
sure to tune in
that's
to your
crazy.
favorite media and content creators for the hands-on impressions of No Rest for the Wicked immediately following this showcase.
We can't wait to see you all on April 18th.
You're gonna buy the pass. Okay. And this game looks so pretty too. I like how they just make it visually appealing as well. It's a nice style. Okay. April 18. Okay. What's your favorite creator play? Wait, why isn't my name there? What in the world is that? That's funny. Maybe one day, you know. Maybe one day. Alright, I think that's it. Alright, so here's my thoughts though on this trailer and on this game. So first and foremost, you know, one of the things that I really appreciate about like Moon Studios is like I took a little bit of a look on Ori games too, and they're very beautiful looking games. You know, they look very pretty. There's a lot of effort on like making the game kind of visually nice, but the gameplay itself was kind of, you know, not my style, so I just never decided to play it. And they had like some Xbox exclusivity as well, which I mean like was fine for me, but it just wasn't my type of game, so I didn't really test it out. This, on the other hand, it's literally, I think it's a combination of a lot of different beautiful things, but what I appreciate about it is that they kind of stay true to their core identity, which is sort of like that the world is aesthetically pleasing, right? Kind of like the painting aspect of it. And I think that's a really nice touch, you know, of making this game, you know, unique. And I think, you know, the fact that they're kind of mixing kind of like, I would say, some of the best pieces from each sector, was going to make this game such an interesting, you know, part. And for me personally, I think this is, you know, something that I would definitely try out. So it's already on my wish list, and we're going to keep an eye on it. Obviously, it's going to be like early access. I'm a little bit interested on how their price point will be on this. But considering they did pretty well on Ori, I'm sure it's going to be like probably like 50, 60 euro range, you know. So it depends though. It's still going to be like early access on Steam first. So maybe we get it a little bit cheaper then. But it looks very promising. So with that being said, you know, thanks for watching and see you on stream.